I don't usually talk about myself, but I'm in a reflective mood right now, so I'm going to, for the next 10 minutes or so, I don't want to make this too long. I'm going to bore y'all. If you stay tuned in, I'm going to bore y'all with how I'm doing. Um, I've been thinking about this lately because, 55, I think I get, okay, I talked about that, about how 55 turning the big 5-5, for some reason, that was the significant number. It wasn't. It wasn't the big 50. When I turned 50, I didn't care that much. It didn't really matter that much to me one way or the other. But 55, for some reason, that hit me hard. And I think that maybe this is something. Hopefully, I'm not just spilling my guts out into the void here. Hopefully, this is like something that somebody can connect with out there in his or her own way. But I think that like being aware of getting old, is and for whatever reason, 55 registered as old in a way that 50 didn't, that 51 didn't, 52, 53, 54 still didn't. I don't know why that is. I'm not going to try too hard to figure it out. Um, but there you have it. And it's sort of something that I don't know. Well, I've dealt with, and maybe other people have dealt with as well. Um, a few years ago, when I didn't have youth precisely, but I had things. I had more of a permanent job. I'm not going to go into any more detail about it than that. I had, or more of not more of a permanent job, more of a conventional job. Um, that made more conventional money. It's not nothing super duper, but still, uh, you know, a living basically. And I had a marriage, and I had again, not youth, but the sense that I was at least somewhere in the world where I belonged. And it's easier to get a sense of dislocation, a sense of not belonging. Now, I should caveat that by saying I've always felt like a misfit. I've always felt like somebody who doesn't fit in. I've always had a certain degree of alienation and melancholy. When I say always, I mean from about 14 on. Prior to that, it was different, but starting with roughly with adolescence, it was that became more of a thing for me. But that was I could deal with that when I still had these basic markers that were solid, that I thought were solid. Um, and then those went by the wayside for reasons I'm not going to go into now. I say I'm getting personal, but I'm not really. I'm skipping over the details. Um, but I think it's like it's like a triple whammy um, to be aware of being old and of not like just sort of not. I mean, I still have my kids. That's an orienting thing. Um, don't get me wrong. Uh, that's a constant that hasn't changed. Um, and I know that nothing is guaranteed in this life. I'm not bitching. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to explain my state of mind. Um, how I got this way, and why 55 was such a big thing for me. Why that was so hard to deal with. I think it was hard to deal with on top of the other things. Um, so I'm saying this, because I'm about to do something unusual here. I'm not going to be more detailed than that. I'm going to be such a tease here. I'm going to just blue ball y'all. That's funny. It's supposed to be a revelatory video where I talk about myself, but there's so many things that I'm just alluding to and not really telling y'all. But I have my reasons, so there you go. And you probably don't care that much anyway. But anyway, I think it's because I'm about to do something unusual. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. It's definitely something that I'm not sure what it's going to be like. It's nothing sexual, though. Oh man, I didn't know I was going to crack myself up this much here. Yeah. So, but it is something out of my comfort zone, and it's something that's kind of exciting. Though I don't know whether anything really will come of it or not. There's still something exciting about it. So, but I'm heading into this moment, this juncture, with carrying this baggage of dislocation, and again, I'm not saying there's anything unique or that a lot of people haven't dealt with this before, and probably worse. But maybe there's something in the human condition that is, where we struggle to find our face in this world, our place in this world. To quote a very profound songwriter, Michael W. Smith. So yeah. I think when you have certain things that maybe you don't even think about, but they're familiar things, they're tentpole things, and they're things that you can ground yourself. You can say, well, I've got this going on, and I've got this going on, and then those things that you think will last don't, which happens. And then on top of that, you're getting old. And in my case, I'm on a weight loss journey right now. But for me, putting on pounds, that's another thing I think I really ought to mention here. In my prime, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, and when I was in my 20s, I was skinny. And I never had issues with food. I could eat whatever I wanted. And, I guess it was partly metabolism, but I lived an active lifestyle. I still do. I still live an active lifestyle. I still exercise every day. But your metabolism changes. And the thing was, it snuck up on me getting fat because, I didn't feel different, but there was one moment where I was in the swimming pool, and I remember before there was never any problem just pushing myself out of the, with my arms, just, not using the ladder, but pushing myself up with my upper body strength, pushing myself up so that I could, get into a sitting position on the, on the wall on the side of the pool. And I suddenly couldn't do it. I was like, have my arms atrophied that much? No, there's just more of me. There's just more of me now. And this wasn't even this summer, because I haven't even been swimming yet this summer. But I think this was last summer, or maybe 2 summers ago. I started to think, yeah. And then I started to look at myself a little more and become more self-conscious about how I'd put on some weight. And that's something I'm working on right now. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say. That's just a peek into my life, a peek into my mind. I hope you all feel privileged for hearing these things about me, and wish me well for this endeavor that I'm about to embark upon, which is not sexual. I'll only tell you that much. And that's it. Thanks for watching.